well. I'm just heading down to the beach. First time in over a week. And it's a hot, sticky Friday afternoon, around almost 4 o'clock. And yeah, just it'll be a relief to get that bit of a breeze, because I've turned the aircon on again today for a short period of time, and I did last night, early morning, about 1:30. I woke up early and I needed the aircon. So yeah, it's been really oppressive this last week or so. So I had my handyman come round yesterday. I was hoping he's going to fix the side door, but his flat chat would work like seems like most other people, and he won't be able to make it for a few weeks. And the same applies for the tree loppers. So it appears it's pretty general. I had a grand vision of what I'd really like to do with the house, because I sold all those shares. I've got a bit of cash on me at the moment. I thought would it be great to do an extension of the place and have a decking area upstairs with another room. And oh, it sounds great, but then I looked at the cost, and there's a cost estimate online, and apparently to do an extension on a house is going to cost between $2,000 and $3,000 up per square metre. So that means that if I wanted to sort of have something like 100 square metres, for instance, although it wouldn't all be building. If I was having a major decking area and just a sort of another room upstairs, so not the equivalent space. Well, at least the decking area would be more space, most of the roof, I guess, but it'd be the actual room itself wouldn't be nearly as big. But I just like something with a lot of glass and have a great view. You'd have to get approval to make sure it doesn't impinge upon the privacy of neighbours. But going on those figures, I just don't have the dough. You got to have like a lazy 200 to 300 grand, and then you got the disruption of having it built in your own home. It's not an extension, so it's actually the builders have got to come within the guts of your house, and you've got to rearrange things accordingly. It would be lovely to have a space like that, though, an upstairs area where I could just have a decking area that's actually private, because I don't have that much privacy where I am. I mean, it's private compared to the flat, I guess, but it could be better. And there are solutions to that I could bring in, I guess, but I'm afraid that my ship would have to come in for me to be able to go a big project like that. It would be great, but and of course it'd certainly add to the value of the property, but it's just, I just can't stress finances anywhere near that extent. It's just way outside my means. But it would be lovely. Only way you could justify something like that is if you had a subletting type arrangement where you could actually get rental income. So you'd have to have like a separate entrance or something for people. But again, then you're almost living in a flat situation. So that's what I don't want. I want my own privacy, and I don't need the space I've got. I mean, it wouldn't worry me if I lost the bedroom if a renovation like that was done. So to put a staircase in, for instance, wouldn't worry me in the slightest, because I certainly wouldn't lose any space overall, and the space would be much more useful for me. You know, it'd be like a private area upstairs where you get more of a breeze. You get a view of the canopy of all the trees around this area, because it's quite a lot of foliage, as you can see. And I don't think I'd be able to see the beach, but you know, like I say, you would at least catch the breeze, and having a decking area to yourself would be really nice. Just a nice space like that would be perfect. But I don't know if you could do a cut down version, like you could just have a relatively small place, interior place, a small, in other words, like one room, and just surrounded by decking, so you've got that living space. I mean, I suppose I could always talk to people about it, but I mean, I don't want or need to double the space in the house, that's for sure. That's not my intention, is to have a different type of living area. Oh, noisy. Yeah, that's what you cop around here. You get the get lots of lopping equipment, building equipment, motor mowers. I did the mowing yesterday, got the front done. Did a pretty lousy job, but it looks better than what it did. And I did it early morning because later in the day it's just too damn hot. So yeah, you can start at 7 o'clock. I did it about 7:30 to 7:45, and I'm still sweating when I finished it. I wouldn't be doing it now. It'd be hard yakka, hard way of making a living mowing lawns in this sort of weather. Whew, just polished off my gin, so I'm actually alcohol free now. Trying to get an appointment with the local GP is a lot easier said than done. They tell you, I emailed them, they got back to me, but they said you had to ring them to make an appointment. I said I've tried 3 times, it's been engaged. I've tried at least half a dozen times since, and they're still engaged. That's bloody useless. They're not very customer friendly at that practice. What I'll have to do is just go down there tomorrow morning. They're open between 8 and 10, so I'll just have to go down there and front up to the counter and get it arranged. And I'm assuming they're going to bulk bill me, but I want to get that sorted too. But they said some crap they had to talk to you over the phone to get information. You can do that via an email. I don't know what the problem is. And you can certainly book an appointment with the other agency I was using, the other medical practice I was using in Parramatta Park. You do it online, it's much easier. Anyway, that was a bit frustrating. I still haven't heard back about my computer either. That's it been escalated because I've got the watermark on my computer, my laptop, and it says it's trying to run Enterprise, which is sort of like a business type Windows, which I never purchased. I just got the Home Edition, and for some reason it just switched over to this Enterprise one while I was in Brisbane. So the worst possible time while I was actually on a trip. It didn't seem to affect the functionality of the unit much. All it really did was create the watermark. It's still even updating, doing Windows updates, which I didn't expect. That's all very strange, but obviously it's not the norm if the issue had to be escalated, because I rang ASUS and they and got them sent information through to them via email, and then they replied yesterday saying they'd had to escalate it. So it's obviously something pretty quirky is just happening to me, my luck. I don't have much luck with electronics and having a bad run. Also, I've got problems with my my mobile phone. It only charges slowly now. It was actually quite a quick charger, but I think what the problem is that the cord, the connector has to go into the little hole at the bottom of the phone to charge and to do data transfer as well. There's something wrong with that connection. It just isn't snug enough, so I'm not getting the data flow that I should be getting. So it takes forever to charge, and it might be on the way out, which would be a pain, because that means I'd have to get another bloody mobile and go through all the hassle of putting apps on and all the other garbage. So not much fun. So yeah, like I say, not having much luck at the moment. Oh, it is nicer down here. There is a bit of a breeze. Thank God. Yeah, I always feel halfway human here. Yeah, but my problems are rather trivial compared to what's happening in Eastern Europe. The poor old Ukrainians are taking it in the neck. And someone actually contacted someone that watches the channel actually said that basically Ukrainians deserve it. They were a corrupt country, and Yeah, they obviously there's a lot of corruption there. Certainly Biden's been involved with his son in the Ukraine, and it's pretty sus. But if you're talking corruption, it's not exactly corruption-free in Russia either. It's incredibly corrupt. As a matter of fact, I remember seeing a YouTube video of just interviewing young Russians in Moscow, and they nearly all mentioned corruption as one of the biggest issues facing the country. So that's pretty telling. It's not something you'd come up really high on the list in the West, but you know, there's a huge amount of corruption there. And as I say, Putin is a despot, and he's got an itchy finger when it comes to the nuclear trigger, and I don't like that. So I'm very nervous about this whole thing, and I don't know how it's going to play out. If he does an Adolf Hitler on us, he won't be satisfied with just the Ukraine. Tulsi Gabbard, who had some military experience, she was a Democrat member until recently, and she was saying that they made it pretty clear, the Russians, that they didn't want the Ukraine getting NATO membership, not on their doorstep. It's sort of like the opposite of what happened with the Cuban Missile Crisis for America, having Cuba with missiles on their doorstep. And I can understand that, but it should never come to this though. With this military action, it's just ridiculous. And as I say, the reports are that a lot of soldiers don't know what's really going on. They're keeping them ignorant, which is smart by the government. But eventually that stuff will come out. And I don't think it's going to work out well for Putin in the long run. I think it's going to cause a fair bit of dissent back in Russia. But we'll see. I'm only guessing because I'm not an expert in the area. I'm just guessing. But as far as corruption is concerned, yeah, Ukraine's corrupt. But so what's new in the Eastern Bloc? You think Belarus is a paragon of virtue? Oh God, it's a crappy part of the world. There's, I've seen lots of videos shot in the post-Soviet era areas, and well, there's a lot of poverty and a lot of stuff just has had better days. It's very, very run-down feel about it. Yeah, quite sad actually, because once the Soviet Empire broke up, all these subsidies went, and they basically all the facilities got closed down, and it's just a shell of what it was. Not that the Soviet system was anything to write home about, but there's been nothing there to really replace it, replace the money that came in. So that's post-empire for you. So yeah, that was Baldwin Bankrupt. You've probably heard of him. What's his name? Rich, something Rich. Based from the UK, is quite popular for a while. He also did some very stupid things to basically get clicks online. The dumbest one was riding in that an ore cart, a car in Western Africa. He did an overnight run in this train with these huge open carriages to take ore. Apparently it's freezing during the night, and it's incredibly dangerous because they have quite regular derailments on this thing. And if you have no protection here and a bucket in effect on rails, you do yourself a lot of injuries. So it's just crazy. He's very lucky that he got away with that. He was with his I don't know if she's Ukrainian, but she's from the Eastern, Russian or Ukrainian or whatever girlfriend was with him as well. So it's all for the sake of adventure and YouTube clicks. Pretty crazy. Hey, it's a lot nicer here. It's just a good break. Of course, there's no one swimming because I could imagine that with this heat, the stingers would be out in force. So it's a shame. There's very little opportunity to swim this season. Yeah, now like I say, it might look great, but the humidity's pretty oppressive at the moment, so I don't want to disillusion you about the picture postcard look, but it is a little draining. And I'm not surprised to see that sign up there again today. Some people over there sort of wandering along there. Still want to watch out for crocs just in case they get near the shore. You'd have to be stiff, but it can happen apparently. So, oh boy. Well, that was a little bit of a break. Better than sitting in front of the fan on the computer. But yeah, it's been quite oppressive the last week, more than I remember. And it'll be interesting to see how much my electricity bill goes up. I mean, I've only had the aircon on for very short periods, a quarter of an hour at a time to 20 minutes max, and only once or twice a day. So I doubt whether it's going to be horrendous, but it'll be higher for sure. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.